MEC, thank you so much for your time. You joined us just after we heard that update from the Premier on the situation with regards to electricity. While I have you on the line, could you give us an update with regards to the access to water? Because we've had these rather concerning pictures of residents of KZN having to go to open water pipes now, trying to collect water for them to use, which of course would be rather unsafe. Can you give us an update on water access across your province as we speak?
Well, evening to yourself and to the viewers. Before we go to the access to water, let's start by sending condolences to our people, all the families that they have lost their loved ones. We are in a sad province because of what has happened in KwaZulu-Natal. We are working tirelessly to ensure that we assist all those who have been affected through this disaster. And we must ensure that our people they are safe. We are, as the provincial government, we are working with different stakeholders to ensure that we provide services that people they want. We are working closely with the special eThekwini. We have already restored part of the eThekwini water. We are restoring electricity across eThekwini. I think it's only 2 power stations that they are busy as we speak, trying to ensure that it's working now because of the hard working that we are doing as a provincial government, because we are a caring government. We must ensure that because of the number that's increasing in KwaZulu-Natal, the fatalities that are happening in KwaZulu-Natal, you know that yesterday night we reported that it's 326 people that have lost their lives, but now it's no longer 306, as the Premier has already indicated. It's 341. You know that there was a serious disaster that happened, or floods that happened in South Africa in 1984, which costed the life of our people in South Africa. It was 243, and now we are in 341. This is one of the worst disasters that happened in South Africa. But we must assure the people of KwaZulu-Natal that we are above everything, we are in control. We must indicate to our people that we already indicated that we are going to provide temporary intervention in terms of water. We are going to give our people the static tanks and also water tankers for areas that we have not restored water. And we're going to request that the water tankers they are going to pour water in those static tanks so that people they will be able to have water, because water is life.
Yeah, indeed. MEC, if I could just come in there, the one question I did need to ask you, because my colleagues did speak to Sputnik Rantau earlier this evening, and there seemed to be some concern about the areas that have been cut off. Now, obviously, there's been such extensive damage to the roads, which we can speak a bit about later on, because I believe Minister Fikile Mbalula is visiting the province tomorrow to have a look at the situation with regards to roads. But that does also mean that there are quite a few areas, villages and towns and communities that are cut off from the help that is being put out there by the provincial government. So water tankers, for instance, cannot get to those areas because there are no roads. And I'm sure those teams needing to work on the restoring the electricity supply are finding it difficult to get to those communities as well. How are we going to try and get to those communities that are in dire straits, being cut off even from getting help?
Well, for sure, you know that as we are working with a national government and we are working with other provinces that have requested us to ensure that we allow them to give us support. We have received almost 3 helicopters that are assisting our people. And there are roads that we have already cleared now. Those roads that were closed because of the floods, most of those roads have been cleared through working with different stakeholders in the private sector. Now we can able to provide temporary intervention in terms of water. Our water tankers, they can now move from wherever they are to the areas where people they are, and we are going to put septic tanks and so that our people they will have water. Indeed, the minister. Yes.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead, sir.
The Minister of Transport, Minister Mbalula, is coming tomorrow to assess the road, but we're not going to wait for the minister. As the provincial government, we have our own plan. For sure, we are communicating with national as we are communicating with local government. And we are, as we speak now, we are assisting our people who are providing water, who are storing electricity, who are giving our people food parcels, who are opening all community halls, who are engaging with religious people to open their churches, so that our people they are safe, because we are giving our people clothes, we are giving our people blankets, we are giving our people sponges, and we are giving our people everything, because we are a current government. We want to make sure that even in these difficult times, we are with our people, because we are the government of the people. Without people, there is no government. This is why we are not sleeping. We are working tirelessly to ensure that our people they are receiving services from the government that they have voted. We want to appreciate the visit from the president yesterday, because the president came yesterday. He has made commitment, and the commitment that he have made, we have seen it, because number of ministers they come, they didn't just come as ministers, but they come with assistance, they come with services, and we are going to make sure that within in coming 3 or a week to come, we have cleared everything. We are going to have a cleanup program with all municipalities, not only the Chegwini, even at Oku district, even at the Ilembe district, even at King Zetwayo, even at Utugela and Umzinyati. Those are the areas that have been affected by this disaster, because we must not only focus on Chegwini. The disaster is across the province. That's why the Premier have deployed us in all the districts to ensure that our people are safe.
MEC, if we could perhaps look a little bit further down the road, because in as much as in your statement you open by speaking very rightly about the ecological imbalance and climate change and these extreme weather events that experts tell us will be happening again, and it probably will be happening sooner rather than later. At the same time, however, a lot of the damage that we've seen being done comes as a result of people building their homes in flood-prone areas, in steep areas, because land is so hard to come by, especially for those in our lower income areas as well. What is going to be done as the province again tries to rebuild to ensure that this kind of damage doesn't befall those who cannot afford it in the least, so that this doesn't befall our people again as soon as the next big storm comes around?
Look, we have a forum where we are calling all our mayors and municipal managers, which we call Semunimek, where the MEC of Cooperative and KwaZulu-Natal have coordinated all municipalities. One of the standing matter that we always discuss is the issue of spluma. The spluma, it says, let's ensure that wherever we are building, it's important that we able to say, this is an area that residents they can build. This is a commercial area. This is an area that we can't build on it because it's a wet area, or it's an area that is is next to the river. And we are going to continue to engage our people to say, look, we're even engaging the traditional leaders, to say, let's work together to ensure that our people, they must not build next to the rivers. Our people, they must not build in the wetland. Our people, they must make sure wherever they are building is a place that is safe, it's a place that is approved by the municipality. But we're going to continue to engage everyone in the province as a government led by the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Premier Zikalala, to ensure that our people, they receive a service delivery. We already have a plan now. We are going to convene an urgent meeting with all mayors, even the areas that are not affected. But we must plan, because we are working with the South African weather services on the daily basis. They give us information that is going to happen. That's why we are always alerting our people to say, in this district, we are going to receive heavy rains, and the people, they must ensure that they must be in the safer zone. Those who are driving, they must ensure that they drive in the safe roads. And because in most of the bridges in Ethekwini, especially the rural and township, they've been affected, they must know that those roads have been closed. Because while the current government will continue to work, we must appreciate those stakeholders who have come forward to donate. And we're still appealing. This matter is not a matter of only government. It's a matter of South Africans. Even those that are not business people, those who have clothes that are no longer wearing it, they must come forward now and give us, so that we're able to give the people of KwaZulu-Natal, because we want to give everyone. We want to make sure that our people, they are safe. We want to ensure that our people, they have clothes.
Okay, let me see if I could just, I need to squeeze in one more question before I let you go. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but I have to ask you this question. Almost a very sad repercussion of this disaster happening this week is it comes on the eve of Easter weekend, which I'm sure you agree would have been a great time for KZN's tourism industry to get back on its feet after the economic impact of the pandemic, after the July unrest, and the list goes on. We spoke just today, my colleague spoke to people who are still making their way from Johannesburg to Durban because they want to go and make sure that their families are okay. And we do believe people are also still sticking to their plans to come to KZN to spend their holiday. How are you going to be able to ensure that all of your services are available to the important visitors, because your tourism industry needs that support, but at the same time support your residents right now when they need you the most?
Well, the Premier has spoken. I think the Premier in his provincial briefing, he did indicated that we welcome all the tourists, because KwaZulu-Natal, we are welcoming everyone. We've cleared everything. With the Ethekwini now is safe, especially in the areas that tourists, they want to visit in town, even in some township. We welcome everyone, and we're going to make sure, because of we're working with law enforcement agencies, we're going to make sure that all tourists, they are safe in KwaZulu-Natal as we go through the long weekend, which is normally called the Good Friday, and we're going to make sure that the tourism agencies, they are going to ensure they work with all tourists, and even the hotels, or everyone. We are making sure we've developed a plan how we're going to assist, and if this happens, that's why we're alerting our people on the daily basis, as I already indicated, as we're working with the South African Weather Services. We are going to make sure even to inform our tourists that don't go to this area because of the alert that we are receiving from the South African Weather Services, because we want our tourists to be safe. We don't want our tourists to be suffered because of the flood, or even because of the disaster happening in KZN.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for that update. That's Sipho Hlomuka. He's the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs MEC in KwaZulu-Natal. We thank him for his time this evening.